Welcome to Sharing My Truth with Mel and Suzie, the uncensored version, where we bear it all.
We do.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to Sharing My Truth. We're back again. Hello, little babes.
Hi, darling. How are you today?
I'm so good. How are you?
I think I'm good.
You think?
No, I'm good. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I'm always saying I'm good, so I'm varying it.
Okay, I like that. So
Yeah.
you're okay sometimes, but you're actually good.
I'm generally...
So you're lying to the public now.
No, I'm generally always good, to be fair. I'm generally always... But, it goes... No, I'm generally always good.
Okay, good.
But I've had a big week.
Oh my God.
Stroke. Are we in the same week? I can't even remember.
Did you say you had a big stroke?
I definitely haven't had a stroke. I might have had a stroke.
No, right now, yeah.
Oh, right now, yeah. No, I've had a big week. I've forgotten what day it was.
I've forgotten what day it was.
Could be.
I think it was on Wednesday. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, so we're talking about my birthday.
Oh! Guess what? 50.
I'm actually totally at peace with it now.
You're just... Because you've accomplished so many things. I feel like not everyone can say they've done so much of what you've done in your life.
Well, it's
right?
very sweet of you to say.
No, because you have. It's just the truth.
I think
We're speaking the truth
for
today.
Women, it's... We are sharing the truth. For women, it's tough. And my husband's younger than me. Only a year.
I think that's sexy. You're a little cougar, mama.
Yeah, I'm into the toy boys. But
Max is such a toy boy to you, too. He literally... you did so well. Obviously, he did so well, obviously.
Yeah,
but
he did fabulously well.
Oh, absolutely. But, the fact that he's just like... I was telling my friend today, I was like, he literally treats her like a queen that she is, and she deserves it all. And, you do. And it's just so cute that he's younger than you. And,
but you have to be, otherwise what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to be on that pedestal, Susie.
No, I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, you really have.
So yeah, big 50.
So
what
big
did you do?
50, I was in London, so I had a bit of a party. And then I've actually just been seeing lots of friends, which has been really nice.
That's nice.
Went out for lunch with my husband. That was very nice.
Very cute.
Had birthday cake. And this was hilarious. This will make you laugh. Because Max wanted to buy me an English cake.
What's an English cake?
Well, that's going to take a very long time to explain what an English cake is. But he went
It's not like a biscuit or a cookie or a teed crumpet.
No, we have many cakes.
Okay.
But he went to the store that we're not going to give advertising to.
Yeah.
So he went to the store and said, I want you to make this cake this way because it's an English cake and my wife is English. And they just thought he was mad.
Does it have like minced meat in it or something?
What
is with this cake?
They couldn't get their head around is it doesn't have icing on. It's called a Victoria sponge. And it doesn't have any like cream or stuff on the top. It just have icing sugar, and they said we can't do that. What? Because this is North America, and we can't. That'll look bad.
This is North America, and we don't do this.
And he said it will look bad, and so clearly English people are just shit and have shit cakes. But anyway, the cake was very nice.
Good.
And I enjoyed my cake with my tea because I like a cup of tea.
You get your candy cake and you eat it too.
Yeah. So that was my week. There were probably other things, but that's pretty big, isn't it?
I love that. Yes, you're 50 fucking years old, and
I'm good
you should
with
be
it.
so proud.
I'm good with it. That's a very nice way of putting it. I'm good with it. I feel the alternative is not brilliant to not being 50, if you know what I mean.
Like
you'd
dead?
be dead.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I feel I feel good about it.
Good. You should.
I mean, I don't feel entirely brilliant about the wrinkly neck and all of that, but that's fine.
That's why they have surgeries.
That's true.
I'm just kidding. You definitely do not need a surgery. But if you wanted to, that's available.
Yeah, absolutely. But
we're no judgment zone here.
No, I don't judge. So that was the week, really.
Well, that's lovely. Well, I'm so happy for you. I'm excited to have champagne with you on Hanukkah, too. I'm very excited. Oh, yeah. We're going to celebrate in our own little way, too.
Oh, yeah. We do it our style.
I doubt it. But yeah, so today's podcast, let's get right into it, Mel.
Yes, let's.
And maybe this will also be a part of your gift that I'm going to give you for your 50, your big 5-0, if you know what I mean.
It could be. I'm not sure you need to, but because I know what you're going to say. But yeah.
We're going to be talking about the truth about sex toys today.
We are.
And the wonderfulness that they are. Mm-hmm. Because they've really brought many women to pleasures that I'm sure not, that they wouldn't have felt before.
And they can't achieve otherwise.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's pretty amazing what technology has given us these days if you look back. And even if you look back to the past of even,
Olden times.
the olden times. But like I'm talking about like the olden times where you can see that there is what historians will call like, oh, look at this nice statue of a marble cucumber. And I'm like, oh, you think that was a cucumber?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a dildo.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a fucking rock dildo.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they did find that. They have
yes,
found that.
in Grecian times or whatever it is.
Yeah.
These things have
before
always,
that.
back. These things have always existed.
They
right?
have. But I'm proud to say the modern dildo was invented by the English. So
Really?
I think the vibrator, I haven't fact checked that,
good
but
for
I
them.
do have a feeling that is the truth. And that
Good
would
for
make
you
a lot of
guys.
sense. Yeah.
Why would it make a lot of sense? Because you guys need
Because I don't know. I just think it makes sense. Well, the English are reserved and we need
a lot of
assistance.
release.
Yeah, we need release. That's it. We need release.
That's what they
Alcohol
give ya.
and dildos and vibrators, and we're good.
Wow. So what's your favorite vibrator? I would love to know.
I like the little
The little
things.
one.
Yeah, I'm not
For the clip.
Yeah, I'm not big on the
Yeah.
big shit. Yeah.
You don't want like a 12-inch dildo.
Oh, I mean, some of the things you can buy are
It's
absolutely
actually incredible.
terrifying.
I know.
Absolutely terrifying. And apparently
Terrifying.
people use them.
People do.
I don't know where they go.
I mean, I watch a lot of porn. I see it all. Not
And
the
they
saying
must-
that is what gets
you'd
me off,
need
but like,
an awful lot of practice.
yeah, like
to
you
get
watch
that
this stuff
in
and
there.
you're like, I just watch it for fascination because I'm just like,
Yes.
how?
Has that?
But also, I mean,
scientifically
you
gone
had
in
2
there?
babies.
I did, and we've talked about this a lot, about the size of the hole and what comes out. So I guess if it comes out, things can go in.
Right.
I mean, it's sort of, yeah. But, I mean, that's the truth, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But I think, shall I tell you what I want to
Oh
talk
my God,
about?
yes, please.
Because, yeah, what I want to talk about today is, like, as we said, I'm 50. When I was younger, it was still very, like, weird to buy sex toys. I don't think anybody talked about it. I can't think of anybody who talked about it when I was in my 20s or teens. And there was nowhere to buy a vibrator or dildo. We know I've had a very peculiar life. And when I was a teenager, I lived in Rome, in Italy. And I remember once seeing them in this, I think I've told you this story.
Yeah.
In this hardware store. So sort of on the one side, there were hammers and drills. And this is in the window. And on the other side.
You could drill yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what But I mean, you can't be a young woman and go into, oh yes, sir, should I buy a hammer or a dildo? I mean, it's just not happening. Or they'd be these really sort of seedy shops with these, or stores, sorry, with these men with sort of greasy ponytails, and inevitably they had sort of cowboy boots, the whole pot belly. I mean, just not a good
You don't want to
thing.
go in
I mean,
there
you're
and
not
talk to them
feeling
about
super relaxed about talking about the inner workings of your clitoris with a man like that.
Yeah.
So I don't think people just didn't. I mean, didn't buy, or if they bought them, it was kind of on the sly, and and everyone would giggle about it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember years ago, a bunch of my friends going to this sex store, and it was called something ridiculous like erotica, and it was like pervy, like in terms of who it was meant to appeal to.
Yeah.
It was just like not for women, and they thought it was hilarious, and they went around, and that was basically what it was. It was not this mainstream like today, this idea of self-care. I mean,
I think you would honestly, because it surprises me still, but I think you'd be surprised as to like how many young women still are not comfortable with their own pleasure or with even other people's pleasure and putting it in their faces kind of thing. So like I remember when this was when I moved to Toronto even, so this is less than 7 years ago I think. And I remember going to a sex shop with like 3 other friends, and they had to like, and it was one of those huge ones on like Yonge Street. Yeah. So, and they were like obviously like not the nicest stores.
Yeah.
But like, you go in there and there's all things for any single person,
Everything,
any pleasure.
Yeah.
So whatever, we've seen it all. We're humans. We live in Canada. We're not sheltered by
Exactly.
any means. And they were like shocked. It felt like, and I was like,
What were
and
they?
they were
shocked-
old. They're older than me, and I was like, what the fuck are you, like?
What were they shocked by?
I don't know. It was just like they were like, it's like they were disturbed. as to what they were seeing. And I was like, this isn't anything weird. This should not be something that you can't talk about. This is like pleasure for everyone. Obviously, everyone has their own pleasure in different ways. This should be extremely normal. And like, maybe it's not for you, but you can't even look at it. And I think it was probably more of like the BDSM stuff that they were like freaked out about. But it's like, if that's what someone likes, that, you know, it's all BDSM is the one thing that's actually about consent. So you know, pleasure, different kind of pleasures for everyone.
They were probably freaked out by stuff like
Who
that.
knows, right? Like,
I find that for me, for my generation, that's the bit very hard to wrap my head around. Like, you think about sort of women's movement. That's what, you know, women of my age fought to kind of make this all normal and not seedy and weird, and that young women have a problem with it is shocking. I think though it is something to do with its fairly recent years that you've got a lot more sex toy sites, and the sites are nice looking and they appeal to women. I mean, the flip side actually today is that most sex toy sites are for women and not men, and men can't find stuff.
Yeah, totally.
And there are lots and lots of toys for men, but they are forced to go into the seedy kind of side of things.
Right.
And I think that in itself isn't fair, because everyone should be happy to and comfortable to buy what they want when they want. And so we've kind of gone the other way, and now you can sort of buy sex toys on, what's that? I'm thinking of like lots of clothing sites and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I swear to God, Aritzia you can find stuff, and
or
like Dynamite you can find stuff.
I didn't know you could get them in Aritzia, really.
Yeah.
Or Indigo. Indigo has stuff.
Yeah, I swear to God, you can literally get it from probably like Pottery Barn. Like, I swear to God, like there's everywhere. But also, it's the thing of like, you know, you can get them online too, right?
Yeah,
like
anywhere
you look. If you just look up Google in a Google search, you can find anything you're looking for. And it's a beautiful thing, and it's all packaged discreetly, right? Like, you don't have to tell anyone. If you still live with your parents or whatever it is, anyone can find and buy a dildo, and you don't even need to be 18 to buy these things also.
Yeah, well, a lot of the sites, they ask you if you're 18. But
of course they do.
Sure.
But like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's not a huge, like, I mean, I don't know. I've never been in one of those stores before I was 18. I wonder what it's like. I don't know if you've had any of those experiences with like your daughters or anything, or if they've asked for advice on that.
Not really.
For like, because I mean, it is a very hard conversation to probably have for like a parent.
I mean, it's just a line. If somebody was to, you know, your child asks you, then you can talk about it,
but you can't talk to them. Like, you can't.
But they have to approach you. They have to know, and they pretty much know they're going to ask me about anything.
Yeah.
So it's not, and they would ask me.
Yeah.
And I think we did actually once we were in. It was Dynamite. Yeah.
Right.
And I think it was quite early on. They had the sex toys at the sort of towards where you checked out, you know, the cashier. But I found that even strange that it was sort of in this almost tiny little bit that was a bit shameful, sort of a second thought. And I thought, come on, if you're going to sell, just put them somewhere people can see them.
If you're going to sell it, just sell it.
Yeah, and so they made it a giggle factor.
Right.
And I can't remember which daughter I was with, and they sort of giggled because you're by putting it in a place which isn't prominent and a little bit like, we should have put it in here, you know, you're making it a little bit sort of shameful, which to me is just, I don't know, it's just bizarre. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
But the thing that I am so surprised about is also young people and people of my age, who don't know anything about what men can do, which is just like, what? Do you not read?
Yeah.
You know, the internet, you can find anything.
Yeah.
They don't know that, and they don't understand that you can bring this in to your couple. Like, they use it solo, which obviously generally probably that's why most people start using it. But I think a lot of particularly men have major hang-ups.
Totally.
Because they think if you're bringing the sort of toy penis in, then theirs isn't good enough. I think that must be it, mustn't it?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. It's mostly like, you know, if my dick doesn't do it for you, then why would anything else?
There's got to be something in
that
there.
has to be it. And that's why, I mean, can you imagine? I don't know what it's like for lesbians. We'll have to get one of those in the room sometime. But it would be but it would be kind of like I don't know what it's like to not have that kind of pressure, right? Because also I mean, just from my experience alone, like I just know of the fact of like I don't want to hurt a guy's feelings because it's a very sensitive subject of like because it is like that thing of like your dick isn't good enough. But I know that's not what it is. But it's like
it depends how the conversation
you're afraid
went,
exactly,
isn't it? It just depends. And then as you get older as a woman, and particularly if you've had children, things may have rearranged themselves down below.
Yeah.
And depending if
the same positions don't do the same thing anymore.
there's that, and if you've had a child naturally and you've ripped, then you just don't have the same feelings. And even I had 2 cesareans, but it was just you're pushing the pressure is enormous.
Yeah.
So, you know, and as you get older, it's horrible. You laugh, you pee. I mean, it's really all very sexy and glamorous. And so you need different things, and different things work.
Yeah.
So you have to be very honest about that. But so maybe that's part of it. Maybe if you're younger, you're in a different space and so on. But this is the time. I have a fact for you.
Oh my God, it's Mel's fact check
time. And excuse me while I, check my fact. Because this is from GQ magazine, and it says, and this obviously is a men's magazine, because men do not understand this. They do not understand.
Which part?
That women need their clitoris to
right,
be
they
stimulated. They
because,
think they put the penis in, hey ho, it all works. And,
I can't blame them though. I didn't even know this until I was 18. So
well, yes,
I mean, that's the thing. Like
you have to. It's like anything. You have to kind of.
It's a full round education for all of us
to figure it out,
making sure that we know. Or just make it aware.
But it goes back to society telling us this. Like, as we've mentioned this, Freud, who I really personally don't like. He may be dead, but I don't like him. And sort of giving us this idea of this mature and immature orgasm, which is just basically making women feel like they're not good enough.
Yeah.
So that the way you do it is different to the way the other person does it.
Even though most women need to come from clitoral stimulation. Yeah.
And people still don't know this.
I know.
I mean, I was watching something. It was a podcast the other day, and they were talking about it. And they were young, and I was like, "You cannot be serious."
Wait, they didn't. They were talking about how they didn't know.
No, there was this, and if I could remember the show, which I can't.
Yeah,
there were 3 of them in the room, and the host was saying to whoever the guest was, who's probably somebody very famous, and I should know, but I didn't know. That I want you to experience, and there was a man. That's the other host. That you should have a penetrative, whatever way she put it, like sex. I think she called it a sex or something ridiculous. And it was like, what? Like, no, maybe that. I was just amazed that
people are still talking about it like that's the only way that you should.
And they were talking about it. They felt that was necessary. Hence my fact.
All right,
what's
Matt.
my fact?
Let's go, Mel.
I've lost my facts. So, this is GQ magazine, and the fact that they have to tell men this is just terrifying. This 2017 study noted that 37% of women need clitoral stimulation and not just penetration to reach the summit of Mount Orgasm.
So
adding a vibrator to the mix proves you know how the female body works. Wow, they have to tell this to men. And you're as turned on by her pleasure as you are by her body. It proves you're confident and adventurous and an all-round thoughtful partner.
Right.
This is GQ, so they're writing it for men.
Yeah.
So that they feel okay about it. Because that's part of all this stuff, whether it's women buying toys, whether it's men buying toys, whether it's men being okay, they're brought into the bedroom, or whatever it is. It's about making it, we're saying it's okay to do it. But that's the thing about human beings. We need to be validated. We need to feel that it's okay. Like if you do it on your lonesome, you're weird or something. You have to feel that everyone else is doing it, therefore it's okay that
everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is doing it.
But we're still, I still think we're a bit precious about this.
No, yeah,
thing.
definitely. I mean, like, I love using toys in the bedroom. I can't get enough of it. Because it's just, just that added feature of fun.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's also,
it's
like,
a tool.
Yeah,
it's like to be a tool.
It's like if you were, if you're in an amusement park, okay?
In an amusement
park.
And
okay, let's just go to Susie's thoughts, okay? You're in an amusement park.
Let's do that.
And, you're with everyone. It's really crowded. It's busy. There's a lot going on, okay? But you're with your partner and you have a fast pass.
A fast pass.
So you skip the line.
Wow.
And you go on that ride.
Yeah.
And you can do it 5 times before the first person in line goes. Because you have a fast pass.
Yeah, a fast pass. I like it.
I don't know if you've ever been to a amusement park.
Of course I have, Susie. I have 2 children. Of course I have.
I
I've
just
spent
feel like you're very
thousands
posh.
of dollars.
You're very posh, and you would not be caught dead on the roller coaster.
Oh no, I've done it all. I've been on I've been on all the hideous things.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you just have a little bit extra of a fast pass and a little help. You're like, wow, this feels way better and way more fun because you can just maybe get there faster and you can do it many more times.
I'm still stuck with you thinking I'm too posh to go to an
I think you're very
amusement park.
posh.
That's
I think
absolutely
I wouldn't.
hilarious. That's hilarious. If only you'd seen me and all the things. Max hasn't been. I've been to everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, that's another whole thing. And that's a bit weird that that's in this conversation, I suppose.
Yeah. No, it's
Slightly.
fine.
But
I think
anyway,
it's fine. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm like,
fast
that's
pass,
yeah.
yes.
I think that's how I think about it. It's like it's just a little helper. Everyone's having fun still. You know what I mean? It's not like it's deterrent of any fun. It's actually just makes it way more fun.
Oh yeah, completely.
Right?
And the other thing is, I wish they'd talk to older people. So I don't mean old like me. I mean like old.
Oh my god, you are not old.
Like, much older. That it would really help. But then they're stuck in that. Not everyone. I mean, look, a lot of people are super liberated over their 60s. And that's actually
100%.
And the older you get, in many cases, are actually having more sex. I think
Well, do we watch Grace and
statistics.
Frankie?
Of course I've watched Grace
And but like,
Frankie.
how amazing is that show? And
Yeah.
that's like the entire second or third or whatever season is all about them making this
yes,
perfect sex
yes,
toy for
yes.
older women,
Yeah.
right?
But Jane Fonda is super
I
open minded.
fucking love
And every
Jane
interview
Fonda.
she goes on, she was on this hilarious interview with what's the guy with the ginger hair, the American guy, the interviewer? Oh God, what is his name? How can you not know his? And she was telling
He's a ginger guy.
Yeah. And she was talking about like sex and he was so embarrassed and you're like, this
No.
woman's 80 and you're 50, like get a grip. Like he was so embarrassed about it. And you're
That's
like,
so
everyone does
funny.
it in some form or another.
Yeah.
What are you embarrassed
And she's
about?
so hot. Like she's obviously like still so hot and so like there's so much sexual energy in her. I mean, I think it's just because she's just kept up her body so well and like her health
sure.
so well. But like even like in Frankie, what's her real name? What's
The actress?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
She has a great name.
I know. It's not Meredith. No, I know who you mean.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Anyways, but so
she's like a comedic actress.
she's
been
yeah,
around
and she's
forever.
been with Jane Fonda
Yeah,
forever
forever.
too, like a 9 to 5 and stuff. So like,
Yes. She's been in lots of things.
yeah, she's incredible.
Lily Tomlin.
Thank you, Lily Tomlin,
Yes.
darling. So like,
She's funny.
she's so funny and so in your face about whatever she wants to be, right? Like, and it makes such a huge difference when we're actually open about it, especially in at an age where maybe you're not everyone is as open about it.
Agreed.
But
I actually
yeah.
think they approached it well and sensitively compared to like the latest season of Sex and the City, although that's more my age group, Generation X.
right,
But what was the new show called?
it's horrible. It's horrible. About that time,
yeah.
one time, something time. Once upon a time, it's fucking Carrie Bradshaw again.
And the one character who was having sex with the other character in her bathroom in her kitchen in front of Carrie
oh
while
my
she
god,
was
it
in
was
bed.
horrible.
Because that's what everyone does. I mean, that was just ridiculous, and I don't think that's helpful.
I hate the new
at all
season so much.
to anybody.
But yeah,
because it's just
this is just going to be like
it's making a mockery
a
of it.
love-hate relationship of this podcast with Sex and the City.
I know, because we
all
used
it
to love,
is.
but it's because Samantha's gone.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
She was literally the best thing.
It's a real
She's the best
shame.
thing in the world.
And she's
She
never
made that
been in
show.
anything else. Maybe
Like
there's-
real.
Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of she's been able
She's been on
to
and
do
off.
the thing,
Yeah.
like be the Samantha character. It's kind of a shame.
I know.
Anyway, again, we're off topic.
Wow. But
we're
here we come back
on
on
the
again.
sex toys.
Yeah. So I mean, it is just about finding that right sex toy for you.
Well,
and
it's
I'd say
about
try them all.
education. Well, that's a lot of toys.
I don't
Susie.
know. I'm a fan. Like you gotta get a dildo.
You
Gotta get a rabbit. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
they don't work for everyone.
I think get a rabbit first. If you never had one, get a rabbit first. Because you want to see what works best. Is it the insertion? Is it the penetration? Is it the clit stimulation? And is it the vibration? What is it? And then I think the rabbit is the best.
Work something a little simpler and work your way up.
All right.
And then everyone has their thing. And that's the other
Yeah.
thing. Some people are really, something will really work for somebody else and won't
Well,
work
that's
for
right.
somebody
Like,
else.
and it's
But there's no shit, that's fine.
yeah. But I think
That's
if
actually
you
fine.
have the rabbit, you're getting kind of the best of everything, and because you can turn one off
I
and one
know.
on, right?
Oh,
Obviously,
yes,
you know.
I do
So,
know.
like, I think that's a nice thing to do if you've never done it before. I mean, a rabbit was my first sex toy.
Well, that was because you watched Sex and the City.
No, I actually don't think it was. I think
How
it was
did you
just like
find out about it?
I don't know. I've talked about this I think before, but I bought it in Amsterdam, and I was like, I know, looks like the best one.
And how old were you?
I was 18.
Okay.
So I mean, it was just there. It looked great. It looked fun. I got it, and it was honestly very, very enjoyable. It was helpful. It was very helpful. But so I did, and then I bought, the little womanizer thing. That was great too.
Yeah.
And that works excellently too. But you have to find the one that works best.
You do.
And whatever that might be.
Absolutely. And there is the other thing, like we talked about, bringing them into your couple, that some couples don't want to do that, and that's also fine. But I think there shouldn't be this weird thing that, because I know friends of mine who are very weird if their husband masturbates and they're not there, and I just can't get my head around that either. So I think that you should be very honest about all this stuff, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So if you're not you do it in your private time, your alone time, and then you don't do it together, or you do a mix, or you go from one and you move to the other. But I also think a lot of people are quite, I don't know if ignorance is the right word, but they just don't know
ignorance.
this stuff.
There's toys specifically for couples, though. There's cock rings, which are excellent.
There are all sorts of things.
God,
Susie.
just get the lube, get a toy, treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Your holidays are coming.
Yeah, they are.
And you should absolutely treat yourself.
And guess what? We have a little code for anyone who does want to treat themselves.
We do.
And that code is MS20. And that means you get 20% off if you go to vibrator.com. That's VIBR8TOR.com.
Exactly. And
Thank
you
you so
get
much.
20%. And there
20% off.
everything
MS20.
Everything.
That's everything.
But
so that's when you can treat yourself the most.
That's when you can treat yourself. But do make sure you get some lube and read the instructions, because not all lube goes with some toy. You got to be very careful.
That is true.
And get the wash stuff, because I'm terrified by the fact that people use sex toys and they don't wash them. And it just, excuse the pun, blows my mind. That they actually do. Well, I told you about that thing I read in the magazine where this man was with this woman, and they were having fun, and they were in their 50s, and then he'd used it with another woman, and then she got
chlamydia.
Something. Like, what?
I can't deal with that story. That's literally
and like
horrifying
I said,
to me.
You get close to it, sniff it. I think it's being used.
Oh my God! Absolutely not for me.
No, but get the wash, for God. Get the
goddamn wash. Get the whole thing. Get a butt plug.
Yeah. Butt plug.
Who cares, right? You got this 20% off.
Like
go get whatever you want.
Do whatever. Prostate massager for a man.
Hell yeah.
And even that's another thing I would like to highlight.
Let's go.
Older men who have erectile dysfunction, which is very common. And also that's a huge thing that is shrouded in shame. And I don't just mean men in their 60s. I mean men in their 40s. And it can be for a whole load of reasons. It can be physical. It can be mental, like stress. It could be so many things. But they don't even know. I don't think most men I know in their 40s know that you can have a prostate orgasm. Although there's a lot written about it. But if you are having problem, with your penis, you can get pleasure in a different way.
Right.
And then actually it could help you to kind of get outside of it, because things like sexual dysfunction becomes this sort of vicious circle.
Yeah.
And you just get more and more depressed about it, and it doesn't work, and it goes on. So find something else that works for a bit.
Which might be a prostate massager.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And there's lots of research also about prostate cancer and getting your prostate to work, and because prostate cancer is much lower in the gay community than it is
because they're having just stimulated all the time.
Stimulating it. Yeah,
that's amazing.
And I think I said this to you before. It works, therefore we shouldn't have any hang-ups about it. If you can get an orgasm that way, why do we have hang-ups? Why do straight men have hang-ups?
Why are we even having like discussions or arguments about?
But they do.
I know they do,
and not just men of all, the whole spectrum. Have a big problem with it. Yeah.
Of course, because there's obviously women on men's side that are that might not have clitoral stimulation and they don't care about it because they don't have it and they don't know about it.
Well, exactly. But there are many things to do, many things to research, and you can have some fun
of course
together, like looking at the stuff and researching and buying different things and trying it. And the other thing is, if it works, great. But if it doesn't, don't get all worked up about it. Just go, well, that's not for me, and I'm just going to use what works for me.
Unfortunately, you can't return it.
No, I mean,
do not return.
Set yourself a budget. That is for
don't
sure.
Return
and please, dear God, don't return it.
Don't return it.
Yeah,
no one wants that back.
And then also find a little space where it is in a private space. It's not like somebody I know who will remain nameless in a basket in the middle of the room.
Okay, that's not me, by the way.
No. I'm never gonna. This is gonna be like Harry and Meghan. I'm never gonna tell which royal said what. It's like I'm not gonna say.
That is so funny.
Or like it's in the room and somebody thinks it's a back massager. I've had that before, and I'm like, that is not a back massager.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I mean, you just gotta try out what's best for you.
Yeah. So definitely, that is the message today.
Yeah,
is not to get outside of all your hang-ups. Don't be so ashamed of anything. Don't be nervous. And literally everyone's doing it.
Watch a little porn.
Yeah.
Get into it.
Too. Absolutely.
Watch a little audiobook. Get an erotica book.
There's so many options. So much stuff. Yeah, there's so many options.
Get a little release going,
And I know quite a few women who listen to, and this is messed up in itself, who listen to audio erotica, which I think is why there is a whole industry around that, because they don't want to tell their husbands, because if they got the headphones in, the husbands don't know they're listening to porn. Wow. How wild is that? You're married to somebody and you have to pretend. Anyway, that's another podcast, but that's wild, isn't it? But that's the moral of today. That's the conclusion. Because again, have we learned anything, Susie?
No, we never learn anything.
Okay, who cares?
But
we chatted, we shared. It was fun. And go, everyone, and buy some sex toys.
Yeah, definitely. We'll put some stuff on our social media.
But don't go broke
sharing
doing
my truth.
it. And go slow.
Yeah.
Go slow, because you kind of need to
work it up.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
Absolutely. And men and women, I really hasten to add that, because I think the other thing that's happening today is that it is a little bit all about women and sex toys, and men are allowed to have them too.
Yeah.
And if you are in a relationship with a man, you can both have them. Everyone can have them.
I want that for everyone. I've told you this before, Mel. It's my philanthropic goal
to get everyone
off.
Yeah. I think
if that was my one goal, Susie, thing, then would I leave this world?
I mean, there wouldn't be a war.
That's how I think about it
right now. I think, and I probably shouldn't say that because that's trivializing it. It's not trivial at all. But I think that people, well, certainly a lot of men would be a lot more relaxed.
Right. If they're just getting off regularly and no shame about it.
Exactly. So that's that. We have learned that.
Anyways,
so that's
that.
True. So this has been fabulous.
Thank you so much, Mel.
I feel good. I've had a good chat.
Me too. I actually feel excellent always talking to you about this stuff. And yeah, you know what? Maybe we didn't learn anything, but maybe someone else did.
Definitely. So get shopping, everyone.
Have fun.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast and follow us on social at Sharing My Truth Pod, and leave us a voicemail on our website, sharingmytruth.com, to share your stories and experiences with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.